We begin this evening with a holy reading from The Complete Idiot's Guide to Jokes, forward by Gilbert Godfrey. I'm going to be reading from chapter 23, page 130. It's the hackiest, most overworn joke form in the world at this point, but people won't stop using it. The top 10 list. I can give you nearly a dozen funniest reasons why not to, but I won't, says Mark Katz, former joke writer for President Bill Clinton. There is only one person who walks the planet today who can hold a top 10 list in his hand and not seem like an amateur. And his name, folks, is David Letterman. And so now for some commentary. I am a comedian and I am a pastor. This is our church. This is the basement of our church. This is the comedy club that we built in the basement of our church, in which you're sitting in now. And this made a few church people kind of nervous, uncomfortable. They said, oh, I don't know if that's such a good idea. Comics are going to be down there telling dirty jokes and using curse words. And I said, guys, relax. It's fine. If you think this is bad, you should sit in on one of our church board meetings sometime. Those are really vulgar. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you had comedians who scoffed at the idea of comedy in the basement of a church because you can't do real comedy in such a religious setting, which is a load of crap because comics are some of the most fanatically religious people you'll ever meet. Of course, they don't want to be told that, they don't want to be told that what they do behind the microphone is a religious activity, that they're no better than the rest of us who eat flesh and drink blood and believe in a guy coming back after being dead for 3 days. But believe me, comedy is a religion. And if you don't think that's true, I can assure you, I've sat through plenty of open mics that were just as long and boring and pointless as any church service. Comedy is a religion. Comedy might even be a cult. That's why when a comedian invites you to their show, it feels like the Jehovah's Witnesses are at your door, doesn't it? They hand you the little flyer. They're like, do you want to come to my comedy show? And you're like, whoa, cool. Doing comedy, huh? Awesome. Yeah. I kind of go to this other comedy show sometimes. I mean, I only go like Easter and Christmas, but you don't know that. It's kind of my home comedy show, I really like it there. It's kind of like my support network, and I don't like to shop around for different comedy shows. But the comedians, they don't care. They just go to the next person. They're like, do you want to go to my comedy show? And that person's like, I don't need to go to your comedy show because I go to a comedy show every day in my heart. I can go to a comedy show in the woods. I can go to a comedy show at the bus stop. I can even stay at home in my bathrobe and skivvies and just live stream a comedy show in the background while I sort of half pay attention, Everywhere is a comedy show. And so it is a religion, Comedy, it has sinners and saints like St. Lenny Bruce, St. Chappelle, St. Patrice, St. Seinfeld. Even the recently added Mother Hannah Gadsby has achieved sainthood. A lot of Hannah Gadsby fans in the audience tonight. And there's liturgy in comedy, like, if I say, hey, give yourselves a round of applause for coming out tonight. Give yourselves, There's a call and response, and this is no different than the call and response that's been going on since the beginning of time, when God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So comedy is liturgical, it's darkness and light, and there's a call and response. Like, there's a call, somebody says a bunch of words, and there's a response, everybody laughs. And if somebody says a bunch of words and nobody laughs, it's a call without a response, and the whole unspoken arrangement is breaking down, and that's called bombing. And if you still don't think that comedy could be a religion, let me give you a few more examples. You could take the original 10 Commandments, and you could swap out the word God for comedy, and it would still fit perfectly. And so I give you the 10 commandments of the religion of comedy. Commandment number 1, I, stand-up comedy, am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. It's true. It's true. When you're doing comedy, when that's your thing, nothing else can come first. Let's say you get a phone call from your mom and you pick it up and she says, "Hey, I got some really bad news. We had to put Grandma on hospice today, and the doctors say she's only got a couple days left to live. I know you're on tour and you're busy, but it would really mean a lot to her if you would just come by and say goodbye." And you say, "Wow, Mom, that is really hard news, and I really love Grandma, but I'm booked to do a feature spot at a casino in Akron, Ohio this weekend. So I feel like Grandma would want me to be there, you know. At the casino, I mean, not by her bedside." Commandment number 2, thou shalt not make a graven image of comedy and bow down and worship it. Now, this may be controversial to say nowadays, but I think we all know that this is true deep down, if we could admit it to ourselves. And that's that real comedy, the way God intended it from the beginning, is between one audience and one comedian. Right? Not only that, it's got to happen in the context of a committed relationship. You know what I mean? You guys came out tonight, you committed. We're in a room with some lights and a microphone, you know, a place where flesh and blood human beings come to interact and enjoy laughter together. I mean, look, you put on a pair of pants, you know, you brushed your teeth, you probably took a shower tonight. You came out, that's comedy. But society is made a golden calf. We've created a counterfeit idol by putting comedy onto social media and the phone, you know? It was always meant to be live, but now we just watch comedy and reels and short videos. These 45-second clips, guys, they're not comedy. They're pornography. They're so contrived, you know what I mean? It's not real. I mean, the lighting is flawless. The angles are perfect. You're only seeing like the exact moment of an audience's extreme ecstasy. Yeah. This is what we've been reduced to, you know. You sit on the toilet during your lunch break, watching comedy on your phone. You turn the volume all the way down in case one of your coworkers walks in. The most popular comedy club in America now is The Toilet. And all the shows are the length of a quick poop. I mean, how could we end up like this? Why can't people handle the broad range of experiences and emotions that come with real comedy? It's not just about the applause breaks. You've got to enjoy the whole process of getting there. You know, the opening acts, the back and forth, the warm glow afterwards. But not now, no, not now. Now we just watch it in little segments, you know. Nothing more than the length of a quick poop. Just hee hee, ha ha, plop plop. Wipe, wipe, flush, flush. You know, comedy. I mean, maybe anything more than that is just too demanding at this time. You know, the whole art of listening is in decline. I give you an example, like a full body massage will cost you $100 an hour. Psychotherapy is $200 an hour. The market dictates that people would rather rub oil all over your naked, icky body than listen to you talk for an hour. I mean, I could see how an audience would fall into idolatry, you know. I could see, because truthfully, it's hard for comics too. Because, you know, your whole experience of doing comedy, it changes throughout your lifetime. You know, as a young guy, you might have felt the urge to do comedy every single night. I mean, sometimes you did it multiple times in one night, you know. You were doing it all the time. And when you weren't doing it, you were thinking about doing it. And that's fine, that's normal, that's to be expected. But, you know, as you get older, things start to change a little bit, don't they? I mean, sure, you still think about comedy all the time, but... It gets harder to get up night after night, you know? I mean, as a younger person, you might have felt like doing it every night of the week, but now it's like, if you could do it once or twice a week, you'll be feeling pretty satisfied. I mean, real talk, there might even be some nights where you have the opportunity to do comedy, but you're just too tired, you know? And then, listen, when kids come along, well, listen, let's just say you're gonna have to work really hard to make comedy a priority. I mean, you might wanna just like put it on the calendar ahead of time. I know that's not very spontaneous, but at least you know it'll happen, you know what I mean? Even your body changes as you get older. As a young guy, you might have had a few drinks before doing comedy. In fact, it helped you since you were so nervous and awkward and inexperienced. But you reach a point in life where you have to choose. Do you want to drink alcohol or do you want to do comedy? You can no longer have it both ways, you know? And there's going to be dry times. Times where you don't even really do comedy much for weeks or even months on end, and your mind starts to wander to other more youthful activities like podcasting and improv, or starting a YouTube channel where you bake sourdough bread. But listen, don't delude yourself, okay? You're too old to start building a large following on TikTok, and you're gonna look really creepy trying. Nobody said it was easy, but don't put comedy into an iPhone-shaped box, because comedy in a box is just a false idol. Commandment number 3. Thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain, unless it makes the punchlines funnier. Commandment number 4. Thou shalt not honor the Sabbath and keep it holy. Listen, the grind never stops. We're out here grinding. We're grinding. We're grinding. We're posting about grinding while we're grinding. Commandment number 5. Thou shalt honor thy mother and thy father by making their parenting mistakes a recurring theme on your podcast, which is available for immediate download on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Doesn't matter. Commandment number 6. Thou shalt not commit adultery with things like improv or trivia night. Or, God forbid, spending time with your family on evenings and weekends instead of a bunch of people you hate. Commandment number 7, thou shalt kill. Thou shalt kill. Now, this is an interesting one. Why do comedy if not to kill? What's the point? What's the motivation? Why stand in front of a room full of strangers and tell them about your mental problems or your hot takes on microwavable dinners? Well, the reason is comedians desperately want to be known. In the Bible, the Hebrew word for being known and having sex is the same word, yada. Yada, yada, yada. Being known is just as good as having sex, guys. And so, thou shalt kill, because killing will get you to a place where you are known. Comedy heaven. That's right. The religion of comedy also has a heaven. It's whatever venue or festival or club you hope to be a regular at. And one day when you leave this scene, you will go and you will stand before the pearly gates, and the woman who handles the bookings at Comedy Heaven will watch clips of all you've done in your life. And if you've been good, if you killed, then she will welcome you into that late night paradise where famous people hang out and everybody knows your name. But if you've been bad and hacky and comedically sinful, if you always spend the first 30 seconds of your set dancing to your come-up music, if you ask every single person in the front 2 rows what they do for a living, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Fascinating. If instead of having punchlines, your bits just kind of end with you yelling, it sounds like a punchline. It's got the cadence of a punchline, but it has no punchline. If instead of doing stand-up comedy, you really probably just need to go see a therapist. Because when you walk off stage, people don't say you killed, they just say, that was so brave. Then the lady will send you to comedy hell. Comedy hell is a never-ending open mic. Eternal torment and anguish. She will say, away from me, for I know thee not, and she will cast you out into the darkness, where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. The reason that people are weeping and gnashing their teeth is because where Comedy Hell takes place, there's also a big screen TV right behind the stage, and instead of people listening to your set, they're watching the NBA playoffs, and their team just blew a 9-point lead with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Comedy Hell is terrible. There's flames and fire from the hibachi grill. And screaming kids, and people playing Keno. And the worst part about it is your peers become successful, but you stay normal. But heaven is bliss. Comedy heaven is getting recognized, being known. And just like in the Mormon religion, Comedy heaven also has multiple levels to their heaven. The first level, you're recognized by other comedians. They say, hey, we know you. You're that guy. Yada. And the next level up, you're recognized by total strangers. And they say, hey, wait a minute. We know you. We know you. You're that guy. Yada, yada. And then the upper echelons of comedy heaven, you become famous. And you're recognized by everyone. They crowd around you on the street and they say, oh my gosh, it's you. We know you. Yada, yada, yada. But be careful, my friends, for we all want to be known, but being famous and being known are not the same thing. Commandment number 8, thou shalt not steal material from another comedian. Because that's blasphemy in comedy. That's the unforgivable sin. Which is a lot different than preaching, where people not only expect you to plagiarize John or Paul or Moses, a little bit, they'll get mad at you if you don't, Don't you dare be too original with your preaching. Do not. Don't be out here on social media promoting your next sermon like, hey guys, hope you can make it out next Sunday. I got a brand new hour. I'm going to be filming a new book of the Bible. A comedian once said, they said, you preach every Sunday? It's like you get to headline every weekend. But that's really the wrong way of looking at it. You see, in comedy, you have to earn stage time. You get 5 minutes, and if that goes well, then they give you 7. Maybe you earn 10, 15. If you're really entertaining, they'll give you 30, 45, even an hour. With pastoring, we have the opposite problem. You don't have to earn stage time. You're just given it. Every Sunday morning, they expect a brand new headliner length, 45-minute sermon. And truthfully, that's just too much time to fill. It's like if you loved rainbow birthday cake, just a delicious slice of rainbow birthday cake, but every Sunday morning they said, eat the whole cake. I mean, I'm sure there's some pastors out there that love the sound of their own voice and, love all the attention. But normal people know we don't have 45 minutes worth of intelligent things to say each week. That's just too much cake. And yet, you've got to say something. That's the job. The show must go on at church. And so in this weird, ironic way, it's like you're the entertainment. It's like you're headlining every weekend. But there's so much more to pastoring than just preaching, I mean, sure, you're preaching and teaching, but, you're also a psychotherapist for people and an accountant and a business development manager and a fill-in for their parents. And but above all else, pastors, you are a holy janitor in the house of the Lord. Because you might preach the good word on Sunday morning and feel like a big shot, but as soon as everybody leaves on Sunday afternoon, guess what? You're scrubbing the good toilet. You're mopping the good floor. You're vacuuming the good carpet. And you know what? Maybe that's the way God wanted it to be. Jesus once said of church leaders, he said, but you are not to be called teacher, for you have one teacher, and you're all brothers. And do not call anyone on earth father, for you have one Father, and he is in heaven. And nor are you to be called instructors, for you have one instructor. The greatest among you will be your servant, your janitor. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. So pastors, don't worry about what you will say. For God calls us to be nothing more than articulate janitors. Commandment number 9. Thou shalt lie. That's what you got to do in comedy. You got to lie. Lie, lie, lie. You got to say, ooh, you killed it. Ooh, great set. Oh, wow. Whoa, you did great. You got to find something to lie about and blow smoke and schmooze. That's how you get ahead, Even when there's literally nothing positive to say, you've got to find something positive to say. Like one time a comic came off stage and they looked so sad and downcast, and they said, did I just bomb? And I said, no, I don't think you bombed. I mean, yeah, it was kind of quiet when you were up there. And people were looking at their phones and stuff, it's weird. I don't know. But I don't think you bombed, because things like, laughing and smiling and clapping, that's just like a really narrow slice of the broad range of ways that people show appreciation for someone's comedy. You never know how your comedy might have impacted someone. Yeah, impacted someone. I mean, yeah, sure, watching your set, yeah, it was painful, but they will look at your set tonight as an important turning point in their lives. They'll know that if they can listen to you talk, they can do anything they set their mind to. I'll bet one day when you guys have moved to opposite ends of the country, they're going to come and they're going to find you and they're going to thank you for what you said tonight. And you're not going to remember which bit it was, you know. Was it the one about the discussion you got into with the racist guy at McDonald's and it turns out it was your dad the whole time? Or was it that enlightened bit about prayer and Spirit Airlines? It won't matter because you impacted them. And listen, let me clear something up for you. And there's a lot of misunderstanding around this, but real comedy is not about telling jokes and making people laugh. I don't know where you heard that, but it's not true. You know, it's about thoughtful commentary mixed with clever yet uncomfortable innuendo about TikTok and the declining libido of people as they enter middle age. So, no, you didn't bomb. Okay. Commandment number 10. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, who, unlike your wife, has always been very supportive of him being gone several nights a week, and she even helps him write some of his material. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's donkey. And, you know, we're not jealous of that, right? But let's be clear, like, she does get a lot of material from that donkey. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically the backbone of her entire hour, right? And that's fine. We're not jealous, right? It's like an entire ass-themed comedy special. There's a market for that. We get it. Okay. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, ox, male servant, maid servant, must be nice, or anything of thy neighbor's. Some people, they have a donkey, okay? Something about them that makes them uniquely special. Could be a squeaky voice, could be funny glasses. Maybe their dad was Secretary of State, you know? Maybe they're insanely beautiful. I mean, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but some of you know what I'm talking about. There are now highly attractive people doing stand-up comedy. I mean, for a really long time, stand-up was a safe space for us, you know, for us mediocre and below-average looking people of the world. But now you got like 8s and 9s and 9.5s. Coming in and doing stand-up comedy, so audiences don't just want you to be funny, they want you to be hot. So let's be hypothetical for a moment here, completely hypothetical. Let's say you're a 40-year-old white man, 5'8". You tell people 5'9", but graying hair, you know. Blue mechanics outfit that you kind of thought looked like Dave Chappelle. And hypothetically, it doesn't look anything like Chappelle, and you know that at this moment, you know. You live in a place called Michigan, which is sounds suspiciously similar to Midian, the barren wasteland that God banished Moses to for poor behavior. To some extent, you've become a mediocre white guy, you know. But you're desperately hoping for something special, and so you took one of those 23andMe tests, hoping to find something in there, you know, I don't know. Maybe you're 10% donkey or something like that. But you're so white, the results came back and the doctor had simply attached a handwritten note that said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." You got no donkey, hypothetical person, but you can't let that get you down. You can't let that make you jealous. And that, my friends, is the 10 Commandments of the religion of comedy. Thank you. So, as you can see, comedy is a religion. But don't get cocky, because religion is also a comedy, just to be clear. It's very funny. It's very funny. Which is unfortunate because we don't really let comedians comment on Christianity the way we do other artists, writers, musicians, painters, people like this. Like think about Dante. Dante wrote a book. Dante invented a new version of hell. And people loved it. They were like, this is great. We can totally use this to get our kids to cooperate on long car rides. or some overzealous Italian Renaissance painter, paints a picture of the Garden of Eden with a bunch of details that are not in the Bible. It's like Adam, naked in the garden, bush right here. Eve, naked in the garden, branch right here, bush right here. It's a shame, because I've been reading the Bible and I've read the book of Genesis. It seems pretty clear to me that Adam and Eve were white. I mean, think about it, they had the whole world given to them. God even let them name the animals, you know what I mean? Other people might have been like, I don't know, that's a little above our pay grade. But no. Not Caucasian Adam and Eve. They were like, yeah, I think we're qualified to do that. God gave them everything. He said, here's the trees, here's the animals, here's the whole world. Just have a great time. Just one rule, this tree right here, don't eat the fruit off of this tree. Just whatever you do, don't eat the fruit off of that tree. And then God left. And God wasn't gone. He wasn't gone even 5 minutes before Caucasian Eve was like, God said not to eat the fruit off of that tree, but I bet that rule doesn't apply to me. And then her husband, Adam, Adam is a fine enough guy. Just wants to be left alone, sit in his chair most days, you know what I mean? Adam chimes in from the other room. He's like, Eve, God said not to eat the fruit off of that tree. And she's like, oh, God, Adam, I have to do everything around here. Listen, God doesn't tell me what to do. I work hard and pay taxes just like everybody else in the garden. And Adam, he tries to speak up again. He's like, Eve, I don't think that's such a good idea. And then right before Eve took the fruit off of the tree, she had one of the whitest thoughts you could ever possibly think. She was like, I bet it'll be all right. So they're eating the fruit off of the tree, and they're having a nice time. You know how white people are when they eat. That's just delicious. This would taste good with some avocado on top. Wrap it in bacon. Everything's better with bacon. They got it out on the charcuterie board, and they're drinking white wine from Trader Joe's and making raclette out of it. And then God comes back. He comes back and he sees them with all the fruit juice all over themselves. And he says, oh, man, what'd you do? What? Why? Oh, I told you not to eat the fruit off of the tree. Why did you do? Oh, man, now you're going to die. And they're like, what do you mean we're going to die? What do you mean we're going to... What? You never said that. What do you mean we're going to die? Hey, listen, you should have put a warning label on it or something. What do you mean we're going to die? Listen, you should have put a fence around it, God. Listen, kids play all the time in this garden. What kind of a God are you anyways? This is ridiculous. You know what? I want to talk to your manager. What I'm trying to say, guys, is the original sin was white privilege. But you can't say that in Christian comedy, you know. You can paint a picture, you can write a story, but not comedy, not jokes. Why is that? Why is the church so anti-comedy? Could it be because comedy and preaching appear so dangerously similar? I mean, think about it. You put on a pair of pants, you brushed your teeth, you took a shower, you came out this evening. That's preaching. The Apostle Paul once said this. He said, God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. God chose the lowly things of this world and the despised things and the things that are not to nullify the things that are, so that none may boast before him. Maybe preaching is afraid to put on the foolishness of comedy. I mean, after all, I've never heard a pastor from the pulpit say Adam and Eve were white, except for every racist pastor for the last 1,000 years. But they weren't joking. But there's entire sermons and textbooks written about more serious topics like amillennialism and postmillennialism and premillennialism, which are important topics. But guys, is this what we want to talk about? Is this our priority with everything going on in the world today? I mean, you got wars and poverty and destruction of the natural environment. You have people who wear sunglasses indoors. And New York Knicks fans and people who back into a parking space and instead of parking their truck like a real man, you know? You got violent terrorists and economic crimes and oppression of women and children who grow up so poor they'll never reach their full potential. You have a sprawling system of mass incarceration and neo-Nazis, and whoever invented the fitted sheets is still just out there free in the community. You got people who put inflatables on their front lawn for Halloween. I mean, monsters in the world. But God forbid we speak foolishly. So we compromised. We made up this thing called Christian comedy. And Christian comedy can comment on Christianity because Christian comedy is nice. But real comedy is not nice. It's just honest, you know, and maybe that's what the church needs nowadays, you know. Comedians are a lot like janitors. They come in, they find those dirty places, those contradictions in our thinking, and bring them to the surface and clean them up. Maybe we should have some comedians come around the church once in a while. Just ask a few basic questions like, why are your kids learning theology from a cucumber, a tomato, and a bunch of fruits and vegetables? Or, why do you skip Halloween? Because it's evil, but you're seemingly unbothered by eating a chocolate-covered pretzel crucifix for Easter. I mean, you just heard comedy through the lens of religion. And in the second half, we're going to go through religion through the lens of comedy. But before we do that, I just want to, in case anyone's still a little on edge, I'm going to set you at ease. I've brought something with me this evening. This right here, this is my Christian credentials. So I've brought these along. Just in case you're still a little nervous, I'm going to read these for you. Just to show you that I, in fact, am uniquely qualified to say religion is a comedy. And so you guys ready for this? You ready? Okay. Go ahead and hit that gimmicky music, if you would. And I'm going to boast a little bit. I hope you don't mind. I'm speaking as a fool. This is kind of the foolish part of the show. But here's my credentials. Are you a pastor? So am I. You went to Bible college? So did I. Were your parents Christians and their parents before them and their parents before them, on and on and on down the line? So were mine. I'm out of my mind to be talking like this, but let me assure you, whatever Christian stuff you've been up to lately, I've done more. I was raised in a fundamentalist church, just the Bible. No instruments, no music, no nonsense, no gimmicks, no costumes. No drinking, no smoking, no dancing, no joking, no fun, most importantly. I was baptized at the age of 12. I preached my first sermon at the age of 13. I was voted most likely to be raptured in high school. I went to Bible college in the Bible Belt. Since then, I've been to many churches. Churches that sounded like the name of a golf course. Pine Lawn, Hillcrest, Pebblebrook, Northridge. I've been to youth conferences that sounded like ways to burn a house down. Blaze Fest, Ignite Fest, Flame Fest, Spark Fest, Fusion Fest, Inferno Fest. I said no to drugs. I fought every man's battle. I kissed dating goodbye, and then when I finished, I turned around and thought to myself, what would Jesus do? I got a scripture tattooed on my heart. I listened to hours upon hours of Christian music, worship music, gospel music. We sang about floods, fires, storms, waves, rain, and burning. We sang songs where it sounded like Jesus is your boyfriend. I've tried accountability groups, men's groups, youth groups, small groups, life groups, cell groups, prayer men's prayer breakfast groups, businessmen's fellowship, prayer breakfast groups. I even worked at a Christian bookstore, for crying out loud. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, you are going to hear a comedian's commentary on the Ten Commandments. Thank you, and take a little break. We'll be right back. We continue with a holy reading from the Complete Idiot's Guide to Jokes, forward by Gilbert Godfrey. I'm going to be reading from chapter 27, page 168. If you have your copy, turn there with me now. The secret of a good sermon is to have a good beginning and a good ending. Then have the two as close together as possible. And so in the first half, we heard a pastor's commentary on comedy. And so for the second half, we will hear a comedian's commentary on religion. So shall we begin? I offer you religion's top 10 list. Commandment number 10. Do not covet, do not be jealous. This is something that comedians have a lot to say about. You know, we all know that you've got to put yourself out there, you got to put your stuff on socials and be on social media a little bit, but you can't let it get you down. You know, like, would the Apostle Paul have written the book of Ephesians if he had Instagram? Maybe not. Maybe he wouldn't have. Maybe he'd just be on there all day, looking at all the awesome things the other apostles were doing. He'd just be like, oh, look at that, huh? Oh, Peter just spoke at a synagogue in Antioch, huh? Oh, and Jude got a book deal. Jude got a book deal. Is that even a book? It's like half a page. Like, giving out book deals to everyone? I wrote Romans. That's the same thing. Oh, and Mary Magdalene's on vacation in Cyprus. Whoa, how can she look so good at 50? That doesn't make any sense. It defies logic. And instead of writing a beautiful and complex theological masterpiece, he'd just feel down and depressed. He'd be like, man, I'm just stuck in this Roman jail cell. And instead of writing Ephesians, he might have just posted some inspirational words against the backdrop of a sunset. What I'm trying to say is he would have written a poop-length epistle. Commandment number 9, do not bear false witness. Be honest.
Yeah.
When you're a witness, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But the whole truth, a lot of times, is not very nice. And so when we teach kids Bible stories, we tend to just tell them the first half of the story, don't we? Like, for example, David and Goliath. David was small, Goliath was big. David kills Goliath with a slingshot, so you two kids can overcome giants in your own life. Very inspirational. The end. But what about the rest of the story? What happens in the rest of David's life? Well, David kills Goliath, and then everybody loves him, and he becomes really famous, but his boss, the king, starts to get jealous and hates him, and he tries to kill David, and he's running around chasing David, and David's homeless, living in caves, running for years, trying to avoid being killed, until one day the king is surrounded in battle, and rather than being captured by the enemies, he falls on his own sword and kills himself, and then David becomes king. And then he's really famous. Then he's holding a lot of people's attention, but it's not enough for him. He's bored and listless, and he stops going to work, and he's looking for a little bit of donkey. And one night he's up on the roof of his house and he sees his hot neighbor bathing, and he decides to hook up with her, even though she's married. So he has her husband killed, and they have a baby, and that baby dies. Then they have another baby, and that baby lives, but by that point, his family is so screwed up, his kids all completely hate him. If they were comedians, they'd be trashing him on their podcast, and he spends the tumultuous second half of his life writing down his hopes, fears, angry rants, and it's so beautiful and so brutally honest that it becomes the third longest book of the Bible, the Psalms.
Yeah.
And where are you ever going to hear the VeggieTales version of that story? Bow, chicka, wow, wow, chicka, wow, wow, bow, chicka, wow, wow. VeggieTales After Dark presents Larry the Cucumber in David and Bathsheba, Too Hot for Kids Church. Chicka wow wow, chicka chicka wow! I mean, go read the Bible. Read the second half of each story. It's like the ancient Middle Eastern version of Jerry Springer. I mean, Cain and Abel, Noah, Tamar, Solomon? Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. And we're taking marriage advice from this guy. Moses, a murderer. Rahab, a prostitute who commits espionage against her country. There's even a talking donkey in the Bible. I don't have a donkey, but the Bible has a donkey. And the truth is, the truth is most of these people wouldn't even get hired to work at our church because they wouldn't pass the background check. And I don't say that to bear false witness, quite the opposite, in fact. I say this to remind you of the fact that God loves vulgar people and uses them to do things in the world. I mean, we have like an open mic in this room, and comedians come from outside, and they're here, and they're very nervous, to be doing comedy in a church because they think if they say a dirty word or tell an off-color joke, like God's just waiting right up there in the rafters with like a lightning bolt just to hit them, But you don't understand, like God's like an old therapist. He has literally seen and heard everything. He's like, you think I'm going to be offended by your sex joke at the church? Have you seen who I've been working with? Paul was complicit in murders, and Peter swore like a sailor. Or a fisherman, rather. And so to those comedians, I would say this. And you're not going to understand what I'm about to say right now, but by the end of the show, you'll know what I mean. Take heart, comedians, for today's dick joke could be tomorrow's theological masterpiece. Commandment number 8, do not steal. When I was 16, I applied to get a job at a bunch of places, and I heard back from 2 places, a warehouse and a Christian bookstore. So I went to the interview at the warehouse, and they gave me a personality test. They asked me questions like, would you ever, under any circumstances, steal stuff from this warehouse? And I wanted to tell the truth and be honest, but I was also very naive. And so I wrote an answer something like this, I don't think I would ever steal anything from this warehouse. I've certainly never stolen anything before, but I can't say that I would never, under any circumstances, steal from this warehouse, because who knows what the human heart is capable of. So I got the job at the Christian bookstore. Because I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but you don't have to pass a personality test to work at a Christian bookstore. Now, to people at that Christian bookstore, being a Christian just mostly meant being a nice person, you know? And so every single person that would come into the store, we would say, welcome to Family Christian Stores. And to every person that left, we would say, have a blessed day. And this is how it went. No matter how rude or nasty people were, we would just say, have a blessed day. And in their defense, they ran that Christian bookstore a lot like Jesus would have. And by that I mean in a financially untenable way. There was no security cameras, there was no buzzer at the door, and so people would just come in and just steal stuff all day long, you know? We were like the farm system for thieves in Metro Detroit. We even had a lady steal the Bible one time. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but the most expensive item in a Christian bookstore is the Bible. There's copies that are $700, $800, $900. And this lady came in one day, she made a beeline straight to the back of the store where these Bibles were, before we could even greet her. And you can hear her back there ripping open the packaging on this Bible. And she walked up to the front, she slammed the Bible down on the counter, and she says, I want to make a return. Now, we knew that she was stealing this Bible, and she knew that we knew, and we knew that she knew that we knew. But we've got to be nice. And so we said, okay, ma'am, what seems to be the issue? And she said, I'm not satisfied with this product. Now, whatever you think about Christianity and the Bible, that's fine, but you know, the Bible is one of the great sacred texts of the world. It's not some deck chairs you bought at Home Depot or flat screen, something like that. So to say you're not satisfied with this product is a little bit presumptuous, but as I mentioned earlier, the original sin was white privilege, and so we said, ma'am, we would be happy to give you a voucher for your next purchase. She said, no, I want cash. And we said, ma'am, I don't think that's going to be possible. And she said, well, if you're not going to give that to me, then I'm leaving, and I'm taking my Bible with me. And she goes to grab it, but a manager reached out, and she grabbed the other end of it. And she said, ma'am, I think you should leave. And she said, I'm not leaving without my Bible. And they're yanking back and forth on the Word of God over the counter at the Christian bookstore. And she said, give me my Bible. And she said, ma'am, I think you should leave. And she comes around the counter, she shoves me out of the way, and she starts wailing on my manager. And they're back there, and they're scuffling, you know. I mean, obviously, I've never been in a real fight, because this looks like West Side Story or something like that. And finally, my manager, she knocks her down. She knocks my manager down, and she grabs the Bible, and she starts running for the door. My manager looks up. She's got blood pouring down her face, and she goes, don't just stand there, Drew. Do something. Do something. And I feel this righteous anger rising up inside of me, and I go, hey, lady. Hey, lady. And she goes, what? And I go, have a blessed day. Commandment number 7, 6, and 5. We've condensed these, yeah. Don't commit adultery. Don't kill anybody. Don't blaspheme. Now, people complain a lot. They say, oh, God has so many rules. But really, they're pretty reasonable. You know what I mean? Don't kill anybody. Don't sleep with anybody else's wife. I mean, they haven't been able to keep this. The bar is so low, and they haven't been able to keep it since the beginning of time. When Adam said, hey, Cain, go get your brother. I want to talk to him for a moment. What do you mean he's unavailable? What does that mean? What do you mean he's unavailable? Now, you know how there's like modern translations of the Bible? There's like the Message, and then there's like the Message remix. You know what I mean? Like, there's like the Message remix where like Jesus says to Peter, "What up, doe?" And Peter says, "We all prayed up here, homie." And Jesus says, "Bet, bet, bet." You know what I mean? Like. Well, the following is the Pastor Drew translation of the greatest commandment. It goes like this. Thou shalt love the Lord with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the second is like it. Don't be an Eve. Don't be a massive Eve. Just love other people, guys. That's all there is to it. That's Christianity in a nutshell. If anybody tells you there's more to it than that, they're lying. And they're probably a massive Eve. Because when you love other people, you make God look good. And when you don't love other people, you take the Lord's name in vain. And blasphemy is really a group effort. You know what I mean? It starts with the people who carry the name. If you go back and check the tape, Jesus wasn't always like a swear word. Back in the day, he did good things, and people said Jesus. It meant like, oh, they're a sweetheart, like, oh, he's a real Jesus, this guy. And then Jesus left, and the church, which bears his name, started doing bad things, and people were asking a lot of questions, like, what were the Crusades all about? And they're like, oh, that was for Jesus. And they're like, well, what about the Spanish Inquisition? What about that one? They're like, oh yeah, that was Jesus. Yeah, that was definitely Jesus. What about all the atrocities, both large and small? What were those all about? That was for Jesus, And so the church blasphemed first and made people associate a good person with bad things. And so now, whenever anything bad happens, you just say Jesus, the radiator goes out on your van and you're like, Jesus Christ. Or your daughter tells you she's going to drop out of medical school to go pursue a career in acting. And you're like, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. And if you love Jesus, it can be painful to hear people misuse his name, I know what it's like to hear someone misuse the name of a loved one. My mom's name is Karen. The woman who gave me life, in whose image I'm created, who's a very sweet woman, actually, and for 60 years of her life was just minding her own business. And then on the 61st year of her life, her name became an ethnic slur. Karen. All day long online and in the streets, her name is used in vain. And I've had it, I've really had it. You got to pick a different name. I'm sick of it. You got to pick a different name. What's your mom's name?
Kelly.
Kelly. Very close to Karen. Very close. That's a great name. We should use that name instead, Kelly. Ah, look at all these Kellys. Well, too many Kellys in this mall. Yeah, Kelly doesn't want to take the vaccine, Kelly. It's not real science. Kelly, yeah, Kelly. Kelly's not satisfied with the Bible as a product. You see how that feels? It doesn't feel good. It's hurtful. Honestly, I'm willing to compromise, okay? We could just like take turns. Like, you know, when you go to a Chinese restaurant, they have like the zodiac animals on the placemat. You know? We could do that. You're the Kelly, you're the Barbara, you're the Cynthia, you're the... That's not good enough for you, is it? You brood of vipers, I knew it. You just want to stick with Karen, I can tell. You're just determined to ruin her name. You remember a few moments ago when I said today's dick joke could be tomorrow's theological masterpiece, and you got a little tight because, the pastor said dick, you know? The only reason you feel that way is because you've already blasphemed my Uncle Richard's name into oblivion. Go back and read the script for this show, guys. Dick is with a capital D, okay? Not a lowercase d, you bunch of weirdos. Get your mind out of the gutter. And look, I'm not saying that you should swear at church, but if you must, please, if you must, write a dick joke, okay? Because where a penis can and cannot go, and what said penis can and cannot do, is the greatest theological controversy in the American church today. I told you religion was a comedy. Right? You think about your wedding day. That should be the happiest day of your life. You want your community to be there. You want all of your people to be there. But a lot of pastors, they'll get fired if they do a gay wedding. And I'm not just a pastor, I'm a comedian. So I want to know where the line is. Like, can I do a gay funeral? Is that okay? What about a gay baptism? Is it gay baptism? Gay baptism? Can I go to a gay birthday party? Would that be all right? Wait, can I eat a slice of gay birthday cake? Surely that's okay. Have you ever tried gay birthday cake? It's delicious. It's objectively better than hetero birthday cake. It doesn't matter where you fall on this issue. We can all agree gay birthday cake is the most delicious birthday cake, okay? And so I've got to ask you, fellow Christians, when it comes to loving thy neighbor as thyself, which is worse? Loving dick or being a dick? Because listen, you shouldn't just swear and use Jesus' name, but the full truth is, Christians blaspheme all the time by being unloving towards others, and it's still happening. The other day, I was driving down the freeway, and I saw this billboard. You've probably seen it before. It has a bunch of flames on it, and it says, "Do you know where you're gonna go when you die? Jesus." And I'm pretty sure he's up there like, "Sweet Kelly, I never said that crap." Like, if you're gonna use Jesus' name in vain, may I recommend you just go all the way. Just use it for advertising, Make a little money off of it. Maybe something like this. I didn't die on a cross so that you could drink mediocre coffee. Starbucks, exit 167, then turn left. Jesus. All right. Commandment number 4. Thou shalt honor thy mother and thy father. Now, honoring your mother and your father, it doesn't mean doing everything that your mother and father did. It just means acknowledging that they are a part of you and taking the good things that they gave you and carrying those into the future and leaving the rest of it behind. And if you honor your mother and father, that doesn't guarantee that they're not still going to be disappointed in you. I say this as a comedian, okay? You know who was really disappointed? Peter's dad. He was like, what is it? What is it again? What is it? Some kind of rabbi thing? What? What is it? Nazareth? What is it? What is that? What is that? Like some kind of community college? What is it? Nazareth? What is it? What's the guy's name? What's his name? What's his name? Jesus? Jesus, that's not a name. That's something we say when things break. That's not a name. There's a hole in my boat. Jesus, you see what I'm saying? Like, what does he want you to do? What is it? He wants you to follow him, and then you get people to follow you? That's a pyramid scheme. That's Let's go to commandment number 3. Honor the Sabbath. We skip over this one a lot, so I'm going to really emphasize this. Honor the Sabbath and keep it holy. Guys, take a break.
Right now?
Oh, yeah, that's nice. This is great. Feels like I've been up here forever. I'm really thirsty, too. So I want you to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, reflect on your day. Where did you find joy? And based on that feeling of joy, what kind of a response or intention do you want to do tomorrow? So wonderful to take a Sabbath from things like being funny, entertaining people, Commandment number 2. Don't put God in a box. Hey, we're out of the box up here, right? You know what I'm saying? People talk about a personal relationship with Jesus. But listen, if you have a personal relationship with Jesus, that means you have all of the emotions towards him, not just the ones that are acceptable. For example, I love Jesus, but he kind of gets on my nerves sometimes. All biblical evidence indicates that he never once offered to clean up after a big event. Instead, he just tells these parables about throw a big banquet and invite all your friends over. And if they can't make it, just invite some low-functioning strangers from the neighborhood instead. So, yeah, of course you say that, you know? Even Martha had it with them. She's like, Jesus and Mary, can I please get some help? And he just said, oh, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself. He was a young guy. Let's not forget that. He was a young guy. He was doing young guy stuff. He was out on the road, turning water into wine. Man, when I was 30 years old, I probably would have done the exact same thing. I bet he had nowhere to be the next day. And, you know, he was a young guy. He ate a lot of bread. He had great metabolism. Pretty much every day, only carbs. One of his final words was, this is my body. It's like, Yeah, you look fantastic. Like real talk. Do you ever look up at the crucifix sometimes and then look down at yourself and you're like, maybe I should try keto or something? I mean, Jesus never had to live the second half of life. He never had cancer. He never had dementia. He never had to get old. He had long, flowing, voluptuous hair. Not a single patch of gray. That's because he didn't have kids. Right? He even said, let the little children come to me. He's like, yeah, because you don't have kids. Because if you had kids, you would say, get those freaking kids away from me. I'm going up to the mountain. I need some me time. Jesus never had to do the second half of life, and I just wonder, would he have even wanted to experience the second half of life? Imagine if he had that choice. Like, imagine he's kneeling in the Garden of Gethsemane the night before he dies, and he's praying, and the sweat is pouring down, and he's troubled in spirit, and he says, Father, if there's any way, let this cup pass from me, but not my will, but thine be done. And then imagine God talks back to him and says, okay, my son, I'll give you this option. How about this? You're going to live to 78 years old. You're going to marry the girl down the street. You're going to have 5 kids. 3 of them are pretty much going to hate you. One of them will be a comedian where your parenting mistakes will be a recurring theme on his podcast, which is available for immediate download on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get it. It doesn't matter. You're going to work way past the age when you thought you'd be able to retire, but you won't be able to retire because the Romans keep ruining the economy and giving out free money. Thanks, Augustus. # not my emperor. Meanwhile, as you become a slowly embittered old man, it will dawn on you that none of your hopes and dreams will ever come true. And then your nagging wife, you'd be like, I gotta go, God, I gotta go. The Romans are here. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do this. That's what Jesus would do, I think. And finally, commandment number 1. Now, you know that we've come to the end. Not just because we're at the last commandment, but because this cheesy music has started playing. All of a sudden I'm whispering for no apparent reason. I want you to close your eyes and bow your heads. And if you think that this is the best comedy show you've ever seen in your entire life, and you want to make a $1,000 donation to me after the show, just go ahead and raise your hand. Yes, I see you in the back. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, I see you in the back. Hands are going up all over the room, guys. And some of you are out there and you're thinking to yourselves, Pastor, I have had to pee for such a long time. And I went at the intermission, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. What is wrong with me? Nothing, friend, nothing. And others of you are thinking, what the hell did I just watch? And I'm here to remind you that comedy is a religion, and religion is a comedy, and that's okay. Maybe you'll never play in the worship band. Maybe you'll never dance in front of other people, because you're white. Maybe you'll never paint a picture of the Garden of Eden or make a chocolate-covered pretzel crucifix for people to enjoy. Maybe your contribution to the body of Christ is a dick joke. Friends, thank you so much for listening, and have a blessed day.